So basically, if you want to view this film as nothing more than entertainment, cool. That's great. You go do that. If, however, you want to view the film in a more truthful historical adaptation context, yeah, uh, maybe don't look up some of the real life stuff that this film is based around, because let's just say that if the film went for that approach, this would be an entirely different tone.
An evil is coming that threatens our kingdom, our freedom. But we have a weapon they are not prepared for.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. On today's video, Viola Davis is bringing a historical action epic to the big screen in the hopes of both box office and potential award success with The Woman King. Set in the 1820s, The Woman King is based around true events of the Dahomey kingdom in Western Africa, defended by a group of fearsome female warriors known as the Agoge. Led by Naniska, played by Davis, the Agoge must protect their kingdom from external threats, including that of a rival empire who has joined forces with European slavers. Amongst this, Nawe is tasked with joining the Agoge and learning their way of life, no matter the brutality she may suffer in the process. My expectations were pretty damn high for The Woman King. To start with, you've got the Viola Davis leading the way in a performance that yet again reminds us just how much of an absolute powerhouse she is. Not to mention the sheer physical transformation that she has put into this film. And there are also brilliant performances from the likes of Lashana, Lynch, Thuso, Mbedu, and John Boyega. Lynch and Mbedu in particular are the real stars of this film for me. Lynch's charisma and charm is just delivered in spades, and Mbedu has just this exceptional screen presence. Not to mention, this is a project the likes of which we don't see. We don't see a film of this budget being led by near enough an entirely black cast, with the leads being really strong and badass black women. So that in and of itself is incredibly refreshing, and the fact that it's done very well is also quite nice. Director Gina Prince-Bythewood really impressed me a couple years ago when she came flying out of the gates with her Netflix action film The Old Guard, and so getting to see her have her hands on a much larger, more exciting property, well, that excited me. And as it turns out, The Woman King is a really solid film. If you're after remarkable performances from the whole ensemble, really, really entertaining action, and a story that you can get invested in, then The Woman King has all of those things. But perhaps this is just my expectations getting the better of me. I was hoping just for a little more. The Woman King has such an impressive and quite astounding concept that I felt a little let down by just how standard it felt. The Agoge are presented as the ferocious soldiers that they were, but when it comes to the battle scenes, I can't help but feel that Bythewood really held back. In some respects, I think she held back too much. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but The Woman King over in the UK is rated a 15, but over in the States it's rated a PG-13, which kind of now explains why these battle scenes were not as brutal as I was kind of expecting, and in some ways hoping. I wanted to see this attitude of these warriors that we are being told about constantly, but every time there's like something that could be considered too violent for a PG-13, it cuts away, or we can hear it but it happens off screen. I didn't want that. Feels like they're teasing us all the time, and for these battle sequences that I were hoping would be on this like massive scale, they weren't. Not to mention that the Woman King also never aims for anything more than simple, yet inexplicably features way too many subplots. There's a romance angle involving Thuso and Mbedu's character, which just is pointless in the film. It adds way too much onto an already quite hefty 2-hour plus runtime. You could have just stricken it from the film entirely and it probably wouldn't have been that different. And then there's this big revelation that happens about 2/3 of the way into the film that, again, it needn't be in there. The emotional stakes have already been outlined in this film at that point, so adding this had very little effect. As for the film's Oscar chances, it's definitely got potential to be nominated for things like production design or costume design, and obviously never count out the Viola Davis. But I've got to say, even with the Viola Davis at the helm of this film, I think certain aspects of it might get lost in the shuffle. This is shaping up to be a very competitive award season this year. Whilst some of my negatives may seem to indicate that I'm not fond of The Woman King, I want to clarify that's not true. It's far from a terrible movie, and everything to do with the performances and overall concept is executed brilliantly. It's just a shame that the story wasn't as fresh as I had hoped, and the action would have suited the grander, more epic scope that this film would have then greatly benefited from. To borrow from what I've seen in other reviews, it's all just a bit too Hollywood for my liking. So overall, I'm going to give The Woman King just about a 7 out of 10. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on The Woman King. Let me know, have you had a chance to see the film yet? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And my question to you, I would like to know, Viola Davis, is there anything she can't do? That's my question. Fire away. But that is all we have time for here today, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.